Hi, my name is Cassandra Crickles, and I'm from Highland, New York. My first-hand experience with the ACC in New York City is as follows. On December 2nd of 2015, after I had back surgery early that morning, I had my mom drive me down to the Manhattan Animal Care and Control Center to rescue this beautiful dog here sitting on my lap. This is Bonnie, formerly known as Velvet. Velvet was Bonnie was placed as Velvet online, and I had reserved her the night before because I fell in love with her and believed that her life mattered. Upon arriving at the ACC in Manhattan, it stunk. It was dirty. I felt that the animals did not matter. The employees of the facility didn't seem to be compassionate or caring towards any animal entering the door. Upon telling them I was there to adopt an animal that I had reserved online, I was taken upstairs and sat in a seat for almost 2 hours. I explained to them that I had just had back surgery, and they told me that they didn't start the adoption process until afternoon. Yet the whole time I was sitting there, I listened to the crying and whining of the animals. I watched. The only compassion towards the animals was the volunteers. In addition, while I sat there, each animal that came out to be walked climbed on my lap. You could sense the fear. They would hold on, and they knew what was going to happen. They knew that if they were the lucky ones, they would make it out. If they weren't, they would be killed. I watched them take dogs out of the cages that were sick. And before they even went in, they didn't even clean it. They ushered a new dog coming in and put it in that kennel. I watched them feed an emaciated dog, a Rottweiler, food in a bowl that you would feed a Chihuahua or a Yorkie. I saw no compassion, and I spoke up. I was told by the employees that I had the wrong opinion, that they only humanely euthanized an animal. How can you say you humanely euthanize an animal when you do not give them a chance? After sitting there for almost 2 hours, they finally took me downstairs to where they had an isolation room, where they keep all the sick dogs, cats, rabbits, away from the healthy animals, which is right near the room where they killed the animals. They took my Bonnie outside in the yard, and she was so sick that the gentleman kept saying to me, "You don't need to take this dog. She's so sick, she's not going to make it. We'll give you a healthier dog." And I will admit, at that point in time, I was so aggravated, I was disgusted of the filth, the smell, the unkindness, and having no compassion for the animals. I told him that I reserved her online and I didn't want another dog. I wanted her. As I went to go get on an elevator and they were going to process my application and put the microchip in her, a volunteer grabbed me and said, "Are you taking Velvet?" And I said yes. She whispered to me, "Thank you," because she was going to be the first one killed, if not stepped up for. I proceeded to go back up to the unit where the other dogs were being held, the healthier ones, and I sat down. And as they processed my application, the gentleman who processed it, I shouldn't even call him a gentleman, I should call him a heartless person, received a phone call from another woman who I could hear screaming at him and frantic that the dog she had rescued was at the vet fighting for its life with pneumonia. And his response was, "Well, you knew you got a sick dog. You should have picked a healthier dog. Here's the email to send your complaints to." He hung up. And unbeknownst to he forgot that I was sitting there in front of him. He turns around to another employee and says, "Well, if the dog was that sick, it should have been killed." Who are you to determine that a dog should be killed? If given adequate and proper care, an animal can be rebound. Look at my beautiful Bonnie, formerly known as Velvet. We had to rush her to our vet, who saw the blood pouring out of her back from them putting it in the microchip and said, "Did they not apply pressure?" I don't think so. Who said, obviously the dog was emaciated. Was there any medication given? They didn't feel that medication was even distributed. He said, why did they don't even think they gave her any IV fluids. She was so dehydrated.
How many times did we take her back to the
We
vet?
took her to at least 4 times to the vet. To be hydrated and medicated. She knew that she was being safe, but she just couldn't even hold her head up. The vet later told me after she started getting better that he didn't think she would have made it. But yet the people at the ACC and Risa Weinstock don't think these animals have any value or their lives don't matter. The dog that I picked up is different from the dog sitting on my lap in the fact that she was emaciated beyond belief. Her rib cage were sticking out, her spinal cord was sticking up. The vet asked why if she had any basically a sweater or anything to give her warmth. She had nothing. The place was cold, it stunk, it smelled, and no wonder these animals get sick. Yet they feel that it's all right to murder, and I will say murder these animals. The only reason they gave me my dog, to be honest, that day, was because I flipped out on them. And yes, I will be proud to say that. I am a paralegal and work in the legal field, and told them by them taking my $202 via the website on my credit card, it was a contractual agreement by New York State contractual law, and yes, I do practice that area of law, and that if they did not give me my dog, there was going to be hell to pay, because I was ready to sue the city of New York and go after Mrs. Weinstock myself with a lawyer, because I think it's disgusting how they treat these animals. And to be honest, now I'm going to go to law school just to give these animals a voice. New York State in Manhattan passed a cruelty law, yet the New York State legislators, the mayor, and every politician down there, shame on you. When you allow your facility that is run by taxpayer monies to do the same exact thing that a horrible person would do to an animal, you allow to happen. When you don't give them adequate care, you don't feed them adequately, you don't medicate them, when you let them sit there and you let them rot, die in their cage, you don't give them food, and you say you're a care center, you're a murder center. That's what you are. You are no better than the person that beats and kills an animal. You are a bunch of just animal terrorists. Your care centers, they're death camps. No animal that does not get picked up does not have a chance to live. Puppies, dogs that can be healthy. Look at my Bonnie. She is healthy because I got her the adequate care. My vet felt that the vets working at the ACC are unethical because no animal should ever be in the shape that Bonnie was in. No vet who's ethical would let a dog who's hit by a car or hurt lay there and suffer. How many times, countlessly, do I cross-post when I volunteer and I do home visits for the rescues or I do transport? Because these animals, they matter.
Good morning. This is Sunday, June 19th, 12:01 p.m. This is Darlene O'Sullivan. I am the proud mommy of Jenna, formerly known as Lady, CACC ID number A1075964. Intake date 6/1/16, approximately 40 pounds, 9-month-old pit bull. I decided to adopt Jenna on 6/9 as she was on the to be destroyed list. 6/10, 11 o'clock a.m., my husband headed over to Brooklyn to pick her up. Approximately 30 minutes later, she came to our home. coughing so violently she was on the verge of throwing up, very lethargic, fluid coming from nose and mouth. Took her immediately over to All Creatures in Long Beach, Long Island. She was diagnosed with double pneumonia, emaciation, dehydration, elevated temperature, and was immediately put in isolation. 2 days later, she was sent to VMCLI 24-hour critical care, as at that point she had to be oxygen dependent. She was still on nebulization treatments as well. I brought her home yesterday afternoon at approximately 2:00 p.m. Although she's getting better, she's not 100%, and this is going to be a 2 to 4 month endeavor. My vet bills are over $3,000. She was diagnosed with Mycoplasma 2, which is contagious walking pneumonia for humans. This could have been a catastrophe, and this crap has to stop. CACC could have destroyed my family, and they could have killed my dog. Somebody has to have the balls enough to do something about this. Any questions, please give me a call. Thank you.